Missing out on your favorite K-pop announcements? Well, I'm here to tell you about everything from companies laundering money, boring debuts, fire Coachella sets, and how someone finally managed to do an old school hip-hop vibe without appropriating. I'm your host, Annie Oakley, and here's what's happening this week in K-pop. Our top story today is a continuation from episode 3. If you'll recall, back in February, we briefly covered the news about BPM and INB100 artists reportedly not being paid and subsequently covering their staff salary out of pocket. Well, we've had some interesting updates in the last couple weeks, but first let me give you some background on the players here. INB100 and BPM are under the same parent company, 100, which was co-founded by Cha Ga-won and rapper MC Mong in 2023. 100 is home to only one act, The Boys, following their contract expiration with IST Entertainment in 2024. INB100 was founded by Baekhyun in 2023 and only manages the EXO-CBX members Chen, Baekhyun, and Sumin. They were incorporated into 100 in 2024 though, while MC Mong is also the co-founder of BPM, which was established back in 2021. In fall of that year, former Sistar member Soyu and former girlfriend members Sinbi, Eunha, and Eumji, now going as VIVIZ, signed on, and the company started gaining notoriety as a home for former idol group members. Even former newest member Ren joined in 2022, but the good times were short-lived. The CBX members filed to have their exclusive contracts with SM terminated due to lack of financial transparency in 2023. SM was not letting CBX go easily though, and the result of that lawsuit ended with the trio staying under SM for EXO activities only. In February of this year, the group's assets were reportedly being frozen due to non-payment to SM as part of that agreement. All the members were heavily active though, so why wouldn't they have the money for this? A similar thing can be said for BPM as well, especially considering that they weren't in any legal trouble prior to this year. Since their success with Maniac, VIVIZ has been on the rise, and Connie brought a lot of positive attention through her position as choreographer, entertainer, and creative director. Securing Shiny member Taemin should have also been a huge boon for them, but it was announced that after only 2 years, Taemin was leaving following his contract expiration. As we already covered, Connie also left following her contract expiration, and now 3 of their acts, VIVIZ, Baeo, and Lee Moo-jin, yes, that Lee Moo-jin, all filed to have their contracts nullified, along with 9 members of The Boys and EXO-CBX. The reason here is all the same, breach of trust relating to finances. It should be noted that no BPM artist has released a full album while at the label, which, given that they were mostly hiring well-established talent, is puzzling to say the least. They were definitely making money, but where was it going? It's not as if that money was spent on promoting the idols, as both Soyu and VIVIZ had minimal support in that regard. And although not confirmed, most of what we saw for Taemin, including his Coachella and Grammy Museum performances, were handled by his Japanese team. 100 and BPM, who are essentially run by the same people, have claimed that they did right by their artists and gave them the money and practice space needed, but the facts speak for themselves. While they have yet to come clean about where that money was going, it is quite clear that it wasn't ending up in the pockets of those who worked for them. I was pleasantly surprised by some of the new releases this week, and unpleasantly surprised by some of the others. The newest group to come out of former TVXQ member Jae-jung's company, Keep It Up, debuted with a self-titled song that I was so ready to hate. But lucky for everyone, it has a retro hip-hop vibe, but without any appropriation, so it's a solid bop. Band HRTZ.WAV debuted with 19, and this isn't a bad song, but it sounds like an idol song and not one that needs to be performed by a band, if that makes sense. I know they're already set to play some festivals in Korea, so hopefully that experience will help flesh out their sound a little bit more. Boy group WHEEIN, formerly known as Three-Way, released The Spring of Us, and in lieu of having nothing positive to say about that, I found it weird that their company, 92 Entertainment, appears to be advertising that they're holding auditions in the tags for the video. WHEEIN dropped their first digital single titled Runaway, and not knowing anything about them, I was fully interested once they started dancing. What they need now in order to ascend Nugadum is a proper earworm to match their performance level. Hwasa's comeback So Cute was aptly named, She paid homage to notable moments in her career through fashion, while also mixing some macabre elements into the music video. It's a great song. Former Pixie members Dia, Lola, and Yuche are re-debuted as trio AWU with Guess Who's Back. It is actually insane how good their performance is, and I, for one, cannot wait for more hits from them. Love One returned with Unica, and with all due respect to them, the reported different side that they were going to show, I think, only extended to their outfits. They seem to ooze aegyo quite naturally, so they'll need something a bit more drastic in order to show a different side, I think. The nation's virtual group, otherwise known as PLAVE, came back with Born Savage in a showing that makes it clear what separates them from all of the other virtual groups out there. I think I'm starting to understand why people tune into them. TXT is back with Stick With You, and I, for one, am a huge fan of the return of drama music videos. Give me a story over visuals any day, and I'm happy. Mr. J. Chang is a very busy man, and he's back after the conclusion of BDU's activities with his third single, Higher. And boy, is it a shame that he won't be joining his label mates for their tour next month, because I actually want to see him live. Modesty's debut song was apparently produced by the production team Sriracha, also known as Stray Kids Bangchan, Han, and Changbin, which is interesting because this song is capital B boring. And last up, we have Ocean, a group that has been active since 2001, having a comeback after a 4-year hiatus with I'm On Your Side. One thing you can never make me hate is second-gen style vocals. I hope that they actually get to perform live for their fans, because based on the comments, they really want that. Lots of new comebacks this week, so let's get right into it. IFEYE will return with Hazy (Daisy) on the 15th. Their last song, Are You Okay, is genuinely still a favorite of mine, so hopefully this next song can catch me the same way. B-Boys will return with their first single, B2, on the 15th, titled Slam Dunk, while Lapolis's member Yue is making her solo debut with I'm Not Fine. WHEEIN is the last member of Mamamoo to release some new music, which will be out on the 16th and titled Adagio. They are going on tour later this year, so I think it's safe to assume that all of these solo releases will be performed during that set. Former Luna member Eves is dropping her 4th EP, Nail, on the 17th, and clearing up any possible confusion with her nail styling in the teasers. XNHAN&XOUL Heroes is dropping their 8th mini-album, Dead And. Teaser photos are out, and the vibe is a stark contrast to their pre-release X Room, but visually in line with their usual vibe. TAEYONG dropped the news this week that he's having a comeback with none other than Anderson .Paak on the 17th, titled Rock Solid. Girl group Notes, a duo made up of former Beauty Box members Gahyun and Chaeun, is debuting on the 18th. NCT Wish is back with their first full album, Ode to Love. This is their first comeback without any input from former director Boa after she left SM. Cortis is dropping a pre-release before their May comeback for their second single titled Green Green. Joining them on the 20th is label mate Even for their first comeback after members Yoo Seung-young and Ji Yeon-so's exit. B1A4 is releasing their 9th mini-album titled Set on the 21st. This is their first release under their own company, which they started last year after having been with WM since their debut in 2011. Close Your Eyes is releasing a digital single, Overexposed, with the title track Pose on the 21st. And Team is releasing their 3rd EP, We On Fire, on the 21st. The music video for that is already out, but we will be covering it next week. Girl group Unchild is making their debut on the 21st as well. My niece, who is 11, is very excited for them, as she is also a Stacey fan, and that's about all I can say for them. BVS will be releasing Dash on the 22nd, and as I have learned, their CEO is former SM producer Mars, who was essentially ousted for unprofessional behavior, and now it all makes sense. This is the last time I will be mentioning them on this channel. LE SSERAFIM will be back with a pre-release titled Celebration for their second album, dropping in May. Former Rise member Sunghan's project group, XNHAN&XOUL, will be back with Glow on the 27th. Gravity will be returning with Redefine. We got a very artsy trailer, which is great, but I don't know what to expect from the group based on it. My Name is releasing their 8th album, Re-Blue, and if you've never heard of them, then it's probably because they're more active in Japan. The group also recently announced that they'll be promoting as 3 for the time being. Former 101 member Park Ji-hoon is releasing his first single album, Reflect. That's like the 3rd album coming out that's titled Re-something. And literally announced right after I finalized this script, NMIXX will be returning with a pre-release titled Crescendo from their newest EP, Heavy Serenade. At the end of the month, ILET will return with It's Me, and I am actively avoiding saying the name of the album itself because it is so laughably obtuse. Free those girls. Fresh off the heels of his Coachella performance, Taeyong of Big Bang will be back at some point this month with an album titled Quintessence. And last but not least is the other dancing queen to come out of Produce 101, Lee Chaeyeon. This will be her first release since leaving WM as well, and presumably her new company wants to capitalize on the IOI reunion hype. First up for Screen and Stage, we have Ghost 9's Lee Jin-woo, starring as Sung Ji-chun in the drama Cabbage for Life. He plays the son of the main character who's forced to relocate to a rural area and adjust to a totally different way of life. Soloist IU is starring opposite Byung-woo Seok in Perfect Crown. This is an arranged marriage rom-com and it's available on Disney+. Sungyeon, Twice's Jungyeon's sister, also stars. Mad Concrete Dreams, starring former FX member Crystal, concludes on the 19th. And the premise of this drama is wholly uninteresting to me, but if you want to watch a grown man pretend to be kidnapped to get out of some debt related to being a bad landlord, then give it a watch. Up next for AMEZVR's concert series is both LE SSERAFIM and TXT. You can find information on ticketing, pricing, and locations on AMEZVR's website. Did you guys catch Taemin's Coachella debut? Because I sure did, and I could not have been more proud. He managed to make the perfect set list, including the new songs. I'm going to have a video out later this week talking a bit more about my thoughts on that performance. But you can catch him at the same time next Saturday, the 18th. Time conversions are a little tricky, so be sure to double check your time zone so you don't miss it. Big Bang will also be performing again on Sunday of next week. It was announced that Lisa will have a residency at Caesar's Palace. The show, Viva La Lisa, will run for 2 weekends in November, but pre-sale tickets start April 22nd. We've already seen how she can put on a show when on her own, so there's no doubt you'll want to catch this if you can. BTS has started their much anticipated world tour. The first stop was obviously in South Korea, but they are getting around, so check out your local ticket seller for dates near you. Eves is starting the EU leg of her tour on the 16th. I saw the merch for this, and I am sorry to report that apparently we just can't expect good merch from K-pop tours at the moment. This one somehow flew under my radar, but ITZY also currently on tour. They're in the land down under at the moment, and some dates have already been canceled due to low ticket sales, so snatch those up if you want to see them perform. Pentagon's Kino is touring in North America starting on the 19th. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. While DKB and Treasure wrapped up their concerts successfully, we have several artists still touring now. Just Be started their Snow Angel tour on the 27th. General admission is super affordable, starting at just $50. Tickets for Big Ocean's The Greatest Battle Tour are also live. They're available through Opang, and you can find the link through the bio on their Instagram. That's Opang's Instagram, OPPANG. And Mix is making their way to the States, and seriously, their performance is something that has to be experienced live. Tickets are still available on Ticketmaster. And Jackson Wang has started his Magic Man 2 tour. And this man knows how to put on a show. He'll be traveling all across North America, so you head to Ticketmaster or wherever tickets are sold for you to see what show is closest to you. Twice is, again, still on tour, but members Dahyun and Chaeyoung are currently out due to injury and health issues. If you want to hear my thoughts on that show, check out my review on the channel. The link is in the description. And that's it for this week in K-pop. Let me know in the comments whose comeback you're most excited about, or if you have plans to see any of the touring acts. And as always, like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Follow our socials so you can be notified when our Patreon goes live with exclusive talkbacks and subscriber voted videos. See you next week. Peace.